Thokozani bogogo nomkhulisakala sendoda lesugogo bathini bathi umavula kuvala emzini wamadoda u-Anti Usha number 1 locksmith. Namhlanje we are talking about your used cars. Used cars. We talk about used cars. We're talking about used homes that we buy, especially. Allow me to be more on the line of used car that has been repossessed, that you bought it on auction or somebody bought it on auction, then they sold it to you. A house that was bought on auction and it was sold to you. A business that you bought from auction and it was sold to you. And let's stop there. But I'm going to be more on two things. The house that is bought on auction and sold to you, or you bought it direct on auction. The car that you bought on auction direct, or you bought it on somebody who bought it on auction, or it was just a repossessed car and that you've managed to buy it before it gets to on auction. It doesn't matter. The bottom line, it's a used car, or it's just a used car that you buy from the garage. Somebody was using it and they didn't like it anymore, or whatever reason they sold it, whether it was giving them problems, whatever reason they sold it, and then you buy it. So I'll start with one that it's more complicated, the car. Why, Gogo, you say the car is more complicated? It's because of you drive the car out of your comfort zone, or from home to work, or from home to wherever where you want to go. It's something that is always on the road. That's why I'm talking about it, a car. So what happens, Gogo, or what is wrong, Gogo, with buying a car that is used? There's nothing wrong. It's just that there's a lot that you need to do on that car. There's nothing wrong. Let me start there before I get into the details of today's video. Let me start by saying there is nothing wrong of buying a used car. There is nothing wrong of buying a used car. Most of the cars I had in my life were used cars. I was just fortunate to know what to do when you buy a used car. It's something that I've learned from the very, very, very young age. Not all of them have done that. You will know, if you know my story, there was a phase in my life whereby I wanted nothing to do with my calling. I wanted nothing to do with muti rituals and everything. I was not umzalwane, but I just stayed away from such things because I felt uti, sometimes I will say I want to clean myself, but I will feel inside my body uti I'm provoking some spirits. I'm provoking some spirits whenever I touch the moat and everything. But it's not about me today. It's about the challenges of buying something that has been used property. It might be a car, it might be a house. So there's nothing wrong of buying a used house. There's nothing wrong. Most of the house owners, those houses, most of the houses that we have, we didn't get them new. Most of them, most of the time. And only to find out, you'll be lucky to find a house whereby you bought it from the first owner. Most of the time, maybe you're the 10th person to buy that house. It doesn't matter. Even the car, the same goes. Sometimes somebody approaches you in such a way that if you feel, what, maybe I should sell this car. This guy is offering me this is a good offer, I cannot refuse. Then you get rid of that car. But I'll give you an example first in terms of what happened, what provoked this topic. There's a client of mine that we've been working together since the husband was alive. I was very close with the husband. I took him as a father, because in other things, I will hijack him to say, Baba, ngicela sikhulume, you know, what do you do in such a situation? You know, talking about life situations and everything. I love doing that. And to me, it's part of the research on things that I normally talk about as well on this channel. And then he would give me advices. He was a very, very, very profound individual, very firm individual. So if umbuka ujahile, or you just overlook at him and everything, you will think he's arrogant, or he's too much of himself, or whatever, or maybe he has too much egos or whatever. But he was not. I got to know him better over the years. I've known him for more than 10 years. I got to know him over the years and everything. And I've realized when he passed on, I've realized he took something out of me. You know, he was really to call father that I knew. Hey, Baba, I'm facing this. And one of the advices he will tell me, he will say, awuzama ukuthula, ungarespond on that situation, awuthule, because ngiyakuzwa ukuthi uthukuthele. You know, he's one person who will say awugweme ukukhuluma uma usathukuthele, because lamazwi ozowakhipha amazwi azoba phakathi vele onawo, hayi ukuthi uzoba uwaqala phansi noma uzoba uwa-creator. No, it's something that you already always wanted to say, but now you are saying it in a wrong way because you are angry. Mutlalifu Mutlame, my senior colleague when in the media, he taught me the same thing, to say, Batini, when you're having an argument, it is also wise for you to lower your voice. You must always lower your voice. You know, you must lower your voice so that whatever that you truly want to pass on to the next person as part of the argument, whatever that you want to tell them, if your voice is low, you are going to tell them exactly what you wanted to tell them. Because of what? Because of you are also calculating whatever that you are splitting out. You know exactly what you have said. So tomorrow you won't go to that person and say, I didn't mean to. That's what Mutlalifi, the late Mutlalifi, used to say. A very talented photojournalist. That's what he taught me. That was 1999. You know, I was an intern then at the Star newspapers and everything. I was very young and everything. And he heard me talking to my girlfriend over the phone, shouting and everything. And then he said, that's not how you speak to another person. It doesn't matter whether it's a woman or whether it's a man. This is how you should address. So I'm telling you this as short story, guys. I'm sorry if I'm boring you with this story, but it's what I've learned. And it's a message that I can also share it with you. It's a lesson, actually, that I can also share it with you to say, in the midst of being angry, shut up. Shut up. Zip. Or maybe let's do this video next time. I'll do this video next time about anger. How to deal with anger issues. It's a video for another time. I'll note it down. I promise I'll bring it to you. Let's go back to today's topic. So Ubaba Lona bought 2 Texas on auction with his retirement money. He had very, very, very good retirement, and only to find out he had a space for 4 Texas and he only had 2. Ikwela, we call them Ikwela KwaZulu, Zola Bat. He only had 2 Zola Bats, and very good, very neat conditions. One was dealing a lot with scholar transport only, and the other one, it was taxi or at a particular taxi rank in Joburg. So he had and then he had other taxis that were involved in the accident and everything, and then he just kept his permits. So he had 4 permits and 2 taxis. So he bought 2 Quantums on auction. Very good condition, very mint condition. He bought them with his retirement as an advocate. Then he was happy. He was happy. He has been working for a law firm for a very long time and everything. He just wanted to focus in business. He has other businesses that whenever he started a business, even the wife or mama, whenever she starts a business, she will call me, then I'm coming and assist me. As much as Ukoko, but there are people that addresses me as Mtanam because yes, they are older than me, and that will never change. The fact that I'm a healer, and everything, I'm on YouTube, social media, and everything doesn't make me older than people that are older than me. I remain a child to a person that can be my mother, can be my elder brother, can be my uncle. It's standard to me, and I never had a problem with that. Then I come and assist and everything. Baba bought these 2 taxis on auction. They were starting. While the auction was on, the taxis were idling, according to him. He insisted with other people to say, no, let's make sure. Then he bought the taxis. He brought the taxis at home. He continued with his life. I've never done anything to his cars except when I went to work on their home. That's when I've touched his cars and everything. According to him, he thought I did that because of I was doing something in the yard. But most of the time, it's businesses and it's them. If they have problem, their children, which they became my siblings, if they have a problem, there's one that stays abroad. Whenever she's in South Africa, she will come. She won't even be afraid to tell her parents to say, I'm coming to South Africa, but I'm not coming home. I'm going to see Kokobatin and then I'm going back to the States because of whatever problem that they had or that she will come across. Then taxis were bought. They went to the rank as normal. Permits were there and everything. Registration were adjusted, whatever process, which is I'm not 100% clued up about it. What happens to the rank if you now have new taxes and everything. The first taxi broke. Then fixed it. Broke again. The same taxi. Fixed it. While they're fixing it, the second taxi broke. Then he decided to buy a new Kumbi that will deal with school children because the number was a bit low, although it is a private school and everything, they're paying well. Then he decided to buy a new car and to take that Zolabat and put it back to the taxi rate because now he has 2 Quantums that are not working. And then he bought a new one and then it started working. It was pushing very well. Now it's only the 2 taxis that are working. The new 2 taxis are not working. They've been broken down. Fixed, nothing. He got to the point whereby on one, he took out the engine and the gearbox down and bought a totally new engine and a new gearbox. Still, the car had problems. The other one, it has a problem, it will go, it has a problem, it will go. Till they realize to say, no man, we need to see our child Kokobatini for this. We don't understand this. When they called me, luckily I was in Joburg and we met and they told me and everything. And I said, no, see me, I'm leaving today, see me at home. Then they came at home, I think a few days later. And then when I checked, there was so much tears. These quantums are from the same previous owner. Both quantums are from the same previous owner, who has used his last money to deposit them with the same money as the present owner, which was the money from the pension fund because other taxes, if you have a permit and you can be able to buy a taxi on credit. He bought it. He bought those taxes with a pension money in terms of paying the deposit. Then he was paying every month, and then until he couldn't pay anymore, then they were repossessed, and then they were sold on auction. Then they were bought by the present owner. What I've realized when I did a consultation with them, there was a lot of tears from the owner, from the wife, from the children, to say, our bread has left our home. The embarrassment and everything, things were going bad. So there was a lot of tears on those cars. It has nothing to do with the present owner. However, it has everything to do with the income now of the present owner because of what inyembes of the previous owner. Then, moving forward, another thing that we've realized, there's a lot of muti that was used in these taxes. There was a lot of muti that was used in these taxes, in these two quantums, for protection against enemies, taxi violence, protection against general witchcraft, against accidents, and against family politics. So there's a lot of muti that was there on that tax. A lot that was done on those quantums, muti-wise. Above the muti, there was a lot of love that was invested in that, in those taxes. That's why there was a lot of tears when they left the family. It was a lot of tears. It was sad for the family. Then I said, Baba, we have a problem. Baba, no mama, we have a problem. I need to go with you to fix this problem. And this old man said, no, there's no other way, Mr. Mbata. Let's go, or you'll come. Then I went there. And when I got there, I've realized, Uguti, it has now affected the yard, because I can even see them when they were here, Uguti. There was some tension yana that was in between the two. The old age played a role as well, but yeah. Then I worked on the taxes. It was the two of us. We worked on the taxes for plus minus 4 to 5 hours and everything. We managed to get other things because we know where most of the time we hide other things for protection when it has to do with the tax, because we know it gets washed by different hands and everything. So we need to hide it very well. Other things we got it, I could feel. Other things were still there and everything. But the bottom line, we've managed to wipe the tears. Most importantly, that was the first thing, Uguti, to prepare the environment and everything. And ngamcela ubaba ukuthi ngicela uphahle manje, will give you time to uphahle to ukuthi these cars are now belonging to you. You have nothing to do with how they left the previous owner. You are asking your ancestors to talk to their ancestors to say, you have nothing to do with what happened. Can they please release these taxes? Then he did that, and I told him that he's going to do that for the next 7 days. I'm going to do another video if you need it in terms of ukphahla for that. And then we started working. We worked. It was extremely hard. It was extremely hard. And you on that one, you don't use any any snake when you're dealing with that one. Give me a moment. Let me show you the snake that I'm talking about. This is a baby. I'm sorry to shock people who are afraid of snakes. This is a baby that we used. Not that I gave it to him. I know it's going to provoke other negative things that which is not, we're not talking about it. But this is the one that we used. I like this one when I used issues of the Texas and everything. When I deal with these things, this is the one that I that is trained that for such work that I did. Sorry about this. Forgive me about that. Normally I will have everything here. I didn't know that I would get to that point. So then we did everything. We worked until we were finished and everything. Then I said to the old man, luckily, the time we were doing the ritual on the Texas and everything, the Texas were both just being fixed. So they were starting and everything, but not back to the rank as yet. Because when they came home, I said, those 2 Texas, they must park until I get there. So I said, these Texas are not moving here. You can start them every morning and leave them. Don't drive them. And then 2, they must be in the yard until you are finished Opasha for 7 days. Because you need to continue wiping the tears for the next 6 days. First day is today, the next other 6 days for 7 days. After 7 days, they must stay there for yet another 7 days. Ngati Baba, you are not owing these taxes, are yours. Yes, you are not getting any income. However, there's no bank that's going to call you at the end of the month that taxes were not working for a long time, including the time the taxes were being fixed. And I said, Baba, can you please do me a favor? Remove this new engine and the new gearbox. Put it somewhere. It's yours. Put back the old one. And let them fix it. I know it's fixed. I said, it's fine. Put back the old one. Tell them to put back the old one. Put that new one. It's your spare. Put it aside. If you can sell it because it's still new, you can sell it. They did that. 7 days. 7 days. Just being there. There's an Intellis that they were using. Just in the Wichela and everything. And then that's it. For another, now it's 14 days. Then he decided they are going to start using them the following month on the 1st. Because it was just a few days remaining for the 1st, which is it's added now on that 14 days. They did that. They worked till today. That was about 3 years or 4 years ago. Till today. Till today. It's a car. Takes it's a car at the end of the day. It does break, but that's Molanyana thing, you know, in the service, it broke aircon or whatever small things. The driver, you know, drove it without an oil. It nearly did this or whatever. It does like any other vehicle that we have. So it is very important for you when you buy a used car to find out the history about the car. Most of the car dealer systems, they can tell you how old is this car. I think there's a system, yeah, I think traffic department, you forgive me if I'm wrong, I'm not very clued up about cars issues that much. But I think you can be able to find out how many owners had this car. But that is not going to assist you. The bottom line, you know it's a used car. Treat it as if the previous owner did something on that car. Treat it as if the previous owner is still crying for that car. Treat it as if you know ukuthi, or treat it as if you have seen something ukuthi, man, Gogo, I found this under the steering wheel. I found this somewhere hidden in this car that I bought and everything. I don't know what it is. You don't have to take this to the healer if you just bought a car and you found this. Go and throw it away. Go and throw it away. Yes, there might be some ritual that you want to use and everything, because maybe this thing, it might think, oh, you are stealing the car. Treat it as if you know the history, that what was done in the car. There's something that I put in the car when I do something for protection in your car. It's not this horn. It's a horn of impunzi. I don't know impunzi. There's a thing called impunzi, the animal called impunzi. I don't know in English. But that horn maybe is this size. Yeah, it's around this size. Others, they are a bit longer. Maybe they are around this size. That I put it in the car. Then I will tell you that whenever you decide what you want to sell this car, please make sure that you remove this horn. If you can't bring it back to me, I'll burn it myself. If you can, just come and take something and you'll burn it. So as healers, we do these things differently. It's a personal way of doing things. And other people that do it that way, don't go to your healer and say, but by the way, you don't have this horn that you hide it somewhere. I had it on YouTube and everything. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's annoying to hear somebody saying that to me. I'm not that healer. They are not me. Respect other healers, please. So then the problem comes with him. The owner of the car passed on. You not knowing what was in that car. Then you decide as a family or as a partner or as a child that the car was left to you. Then you decide, I don't need this car because I do have my car. Or I can sell this car and use this car, to perform rituals for ubaba or for umama. So let me sell this car, or let's us sell this car. That car will never be sold. Forget it. That car will never be sold. You can advertise it on Classified, Gumtree, Facebook, what. That car will never be sold. People will come and view it and everything and say, definitely keep it for me. I'm coming back and everything. They will go forever. They will go forever. Then there's another case whereby the lady said to the family, the lady has a child with this guy. This guy passed on. So the family called this lady to say, hey, we have a problem. Maybe you can assist us because of this was your boyfriend. Maybe you can assist us to pursue to his friends. Ukuthi, don't they want to buy this car? We have tried everything. Everything. It's working. We normally use it, but we respect it so much because we don't want it to have any problems by the time we sell it. Then the lady said, what did you say? We can't. The lady remembered to say, no, man, we took this car to somebody. And I remember my late boyfriend telling me that there is something in the car that he was told Uguti, whenever he decides to sell the car, he should remove it. But I don't know where that thing is, but I know where we can find that person. Then they came. I took it out. I did the cleansing I cleansed the vehicle and everything, and it was sold within days. It was gone. and with a very good offer. And they were very happy. I also still assist them with their cars. Jumping into issue of house. Woo! Remember the car, you don't sleep in the car. You drive it, inayintsila yakho, because you're holding a steering wheel, you sweat, you do what, and everything. It has that DNA kind of a thing, especially on women with hair. You see these investigative series on TV. I love them when they investigate in terms of there was a hair, or they will cut a piece of this thing, head rest, they'll get hair samples and everything. Okay, yeah, definitely this was his car or her car, especially women, white women with this their hair and everything. So the car has that. Then let's pass the car. Let's go to the home, the house. You sleep there, you breathe there, you do everything there. You cry there, you are happy there, you perform rituals there, you do everything. Then you sell the house for whatever reason, or the house gets repossessed. You will know that the house it takes longer for the house to be repossessed compared to a car this nowadays. But however, in the issue of the house, in this grace that they gave you, let's say they gave you 6 months for argument's sake. I'm not saying they give you 6 months or 1 year, because you're no longer working and everything. You're trying that. You pay, you don't pay. You pay, you don't pay. Sometimes it's issues of divorce and everything. There's a lot that you do that drains you emotionally, financially. Whenever you get to that house, you feel like crying, you feel like burning it and everything. It's a sad thing. It's a painful experience that you find yourself in whenever you get into that house. It's your house, it's a home. You have a child of whatever age that was born and raised in that house. They know each and every corner of that house. There's a lot of memories in that house. You remember running with your partner with playing with pillows in that house. You remember your Sundays sitting with your partner listening to good music, sitting there reading newspapers, magazines, just cuddling, making love, and doing everything in that house. It has so much memories. It is you are not attached to that house. It has become the part and parcel of your DNA. It is you. You remember changing things, changing bathrooms, kitchen, ceiling, color of that house. Renovating it, extending it, doing everything. And now it's going. It's leaving you. It's getting repossessed. And we're not getting anything for all the efforts that you have done on that house. How painful is that? We have invested everything in that house. It has so much memories in that house. The walls reminds you of everything, because the pictures are there, albums are there. On your phone, you have things that this is how it was, this is how it is now. We have done so much in this house. You have called somebody to do things to protect this house from enemies, from criminals, from house breakings, from anything, from the lightning, even somebody sending that lightning inverter to burn this house or whatever. You have protected this house with everything you could. We have done what it takes for you to protect this house. Whether you were married, whether you were single, whether whatever, but the bottom line, everything has been done in this house, and now it's living. It's living. It's getting taken away from you. I've done a video whereby I've explained what to do when you buy a house, when you buy a car that still belongs to the bank. I'll do the part 2 about it. Then it's gone. The house is gone. It's gone. You were there on an auction, but there was nothing you could have done. There was nothing you could do. The house is gone. and you look at the guy, the person that has bought the house with so much anger. You are not angry at them, but you are angry at the fact that they took your house, as if there was something else you could have done, and they have nothing to do with your problems. The house is gone. The house is gone. The house has been taken. Then somebody else buys it. That new owner that bought it, they start to have problems. They feel like there's something that is on the ceiling, whatever and everything. Because things that were used, we're using animals when we do houses and everything. And there's a lot that we do in when we're mixing our stuff in terms of what should happen should what happens. What should happen should what happens in this house. We do in such a way that if somebody comes and breaking into your house, that person must feel the movements in the house as if there's somebody that is in the house and then they run away. It's muti. That's a power of muti. We protect the house in such a way that when somebody comes into your house, they see some old man or some old person into the house, or they just see kids playing at midnight. They were monitoring your house for days. Criminals were monitoring your house for days. They were checking what time to come in, what time to leave. Kids, helper does stay there or doesn't stay there and everything. What? Now is towards the Easters and everything. What's going to happen? Only to find out you're going on a holiday and everything. They saw you packing the car and everything. They saw you activating the alarm. They know how to deactivate it. And then you left and everything. Then at the end of the day, they come in. By the day they come to try and do something into your house, then they realize, Oguti, man. So these kids that are playing, they are no kids. It's muti. You see when as if there's kids playing. There's no kids. Somebody said, Gogo, we used to break into houses. And then you find a house. You'll hear there's a dog barking in this particular house when you come to do the house breaking in this house. And we know very well that there's no dog. Maybe we got the information from the helper, but there's no dog there. But that day there was dogs. It's muti. After all that has been done, the house has been sold, then the new owner say, we don't know. We come here as if there's somebody. We can't sleep. It's like there's somebody on another bedroom and everything. Then other healer came and said, no, somebody died in this house and everything. Yes, sometimes even on the previous owner, their grandmother, they fetched the grandmother who was sick to come to be taken care of the wife or the child. And then the grandmother died there. Or the owner of the house died there. Whatever on the previous owner. Or the previous owner called somebody to come and use muti on this because of things were not going well and everything, or just to protect the house and everything. Now you've bought a house, then you realize what this house has a lot of problems. Why, Gog? It's because before you've moved in, you were supposed to perform some rituals in that house. 1, tears. You are supposed to wipe the tears. Through what? Through uphahla, ancestral prayer, to say, everybody who was the owner, all the ancestors, because other houses, they have a room that they've built, or that they've put it aside to say this one is not for visitors. It's not for visitors, not for a helper. It's for our ancestors. They've invited the ancestors. They've slaughtered. They've told the ancestors to say this is your house. The previous owner have told the ancestors, the same as the previous owner of the house, have told the ancestors that this is your car. But when the car has been sold, now they're no longer going to MSAM and say, this is the car, we're now selling the car. That's why I said, don't slaughter for the car that is still owned by the bank. It is dangerous. the same as the house. If you know that things are bad, a house is about to be repossessed, go and get a place and move your ancestors to that new place, so that it's easier for somebody to take care of it. Even for yourself, you sell the house without removing ancestors. Who is going to allow you to come and perform that ritual as a new owner? I won't allow you to do that. You should have done it. Me now, I'll get somebody who will take these ancestors and throw them on the street. Then your ancestors are all over the place. Then again, they create problems for you to say, you took us to that house. We gave you to that house and you took us to that house. You say, that is our house. Now it's been repossessed and you just left us. How do you expect us to come and protect you or to be with you when you need us? Then now we have issues. Your house has been repossessed. Now you have issues now with your ancestors that have been thrown out of the street, and you had an opportunity to move them because you knew that your house is about to be repossessed. I think this one needs a part 2, guys. It's too long. I've been running now for 40 minutes, more than 40 minutes, and I still feel that there's still a lot that I can tell about this, because people have things that are running on the ceiling, and there's nothing on the ceiling. There's nothing, guys, on the ceiling. Or sometimes you have a problem with huge rats, huge. Not this size of a rat, huge rats. What example can I make it with? But huge rats. Alexander, but I'm a venture. I don't know if they still call it a venture, because apparently they're much bigger now. Maybe I'm a quantum. But huge rats. It's because of things that were done into this house. So before you move in, do yourself a favor, especially if you bought that house from a Nguni individual, a black person, an Indian person. However, I've done at least 3 houses of white people, strictly white people, not Indians, white people, 1 Afrikaner, 2 English speaking people. So even people, the white people, now it means what? Everybody can use Muti. Vele Muti, it has never been about race. Muti is for everybody. So before you move into that property, please do something. And guys that are selling properties, I'm giving you the heads up here. Please see your healer and ask your healer, Oguti, can't you give me something that I can find a way to use in the house that I'm selling, so that that house can sell? People that sells houses, Mangete, la ukhona, angeke mention igama, but I'll just say Mangete, la ukhona. If you listen to this video, you will know, Putomdala, ukuthi sometimes you're selling a house. Ayihambi le ndlu le. Ayihambi. You're selling cars. Lalela, ayihambi le moto le. You have a list of cars that you are selling, but le moto le ayihambi. No one, everybody loves this car, but no one is coming forward to buy this car. Salespeople, see your healers. Guys that are selling houses, who are estate agencies, see your healers and ask your healer, Uguti, do you have something that you can put on me and that I can try to find a way of using, especially on the house that is vacant? It's not witchcraft. You are just removing any bad spirit that will disturb you from selling that house, so that you sell that house in peace. You are removing any bad spirit on that car, so that that car you can sell it in peace, because they came to you and say, please sell this car for me. This is your commission of selling this car. Please sell this house for me. This is your commission as an agent to sell this house. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. You are doing what you are assigned to do. All that you are doing, you are removing that has nothing to do with you. However, it is stopping you from doing your job, from earning your income, which is your commission in selling this house. When you bought that house, you, the new owner, the new car owner, or the new home owner, make sure that you do something on that house before you moved in. Yes, it looks nice. wow, what windows, the roof design, what a swimming pool, what. Maybe on that swimming pool, walk swimming yoga. Maybe that jacuzzi you see, it's filthy, and then you say, "Ooh, the owner of this house was a very filthy person. Everything else is clean, but there's this jacuzzi corner. It's so filthy and everything." Maybe it's filthy because something was staying there inside. Benekant. It is not just filthy. Maybe something that was a room for something, that jacuzzi or that small swimming pool. You say, you know, this guy was very smart. He had this big swimming pool and this smaller swimming pool for kids. That is not a swimming pool. That small one. I'm not saying all the houses, but some houses, that small swimming pool, it was not a swimming pool. It was something else. It was something else. It was accommodating something else. It has nothing to do with what you are thinking. And that's why you find yourself to say, when we are sleeping, it's as if somebody is at the pool. I've heard that here in my consultation. I've heard those things. There's something, man. Somebody's swimming. Sometimes it's like kids are playing outside and everything. We don't know what to do. And we just bought this house and we love this house. It's just that you come to me late. You should have done something earlier. Salwas and daughter, I don't like too much long. That is expensive. I don't like too much long videos. I'm not tired. However, there are things that needs to be done. But I'm leaving you with, before you drive that car, before you stay in that house, before you use whatever property that you have bought, please consult your healer. Before you try to sell that car, as a guy that sells car, you have a garage. You have a garage. You're selling cars at your garage. Call your healer. You have a scrapyard. Call your healer. Invite your healer into your scrapyard, into where you're selling car parts and everything. Call your healer. You are selling used furniture. You are selling used building material. Call your healer. Something needs to be done there, because that used to belong to someone. I'm leaving you with that. Go to your homework. What do I mean? That thing used to belong to someone. That's your homework. Our new number 035 032 0188. 035 032 0138. We're extending our call center lines because of the lines that we are getting. Other people that are phoning from abroad, they have a lot of questions to ask, so that when they prepare to come into South Africa, they know what they're 100% ready. So as you will know, when you call our lines, we can't say to you, no, please call after 5 minutes. We'll answer that later. We should deal with all the queries at that particular time. So take note of this new number, 035 032 0188. 035 032 0188. That is our new number. Auntie Usha, if there's Zimbabwe people that are watching, Kokobatinimbat is coming to Zimbabwe very soon. I have responded to your request to come to Zimbabwe, and thanks to Baba Ustole in Zim, who invited us to say, Koko, please come and see us. We are Amazayoni. We have a lot of problems, and we felt ukuthi kufanele sibe nesiguqo lapho solanda khona umelapho endabuko azokwazi ukusiza as an individuals. It's going to be a big project. It's more of a camp. People will be coming from Harare, Chipinge, Gweru, all over Zimbabwe. Will be Bulawayo for that weekend that we are preparing. So Zimbabwe people, Ukoko Batinimbata is coming. I'll be coming there for a second time for same thing. The other one we did it just past Zimbabwe on the way to Binga. We did that 1 year ago. It was very successful. To me, success, it was very successful, but guess what? I've only helped 10 people in 1 week. But to me, that was a milestone because I've helped 10 people who are coming from totally different parts of the country, which is Zimbabwe. So we're coming back to Zimbabwe very soon. Salwa sendo tukoko batini bati mavula kuvala mzila maya madoda. U Auntie Usha Locksmith. Thokozani. Till next time.